They've reduced it from 3 tariffs to 2 tariffs. No more £99.99 a year. It's £14.99 when your contract runs out. I don't know when mine runs out. I paid up front for the £99.99. And then you've got the flexible pass, £19.99. They've bumped that up to £24.99. My tariff will be £80 more yearly. The flexible pass, £60 more yearly. Although, you know, if you're planning to use DAZN a lot, that flexible pass is just like throwing money away, literally. Now, Archie said it's because of the increase in quality of content. That cannot be argued. But he said the rights they're acquiring. When he says rights, like, okay, most people buy it for boxing. When I say rights, they haven't got Premier League or anything like that. But at the same time, it's wishful thinking that you can get Canelo, Munguia, Ryan, Virgil Ortiz, Boots, AJ, Fury, Usyk, undisputed fights, 5 against 5, Beterbiev, Bivol, Parker, Boots, Wilder, Zhang, Terence Crawford for £100 a year indefinitely and no pay-per-view? Nah, that was always a temporary situation. Any fight worth talking about is on DAZN. Hard to argue when Hearn says that. And yeah, there's more pay-per-view than ever, but they would argue that's because the quality is going up. How do you argue against that? A lot of people are furious. They've unsubscribed. Dalton Smith ranked number 3 by the WBC. Eddie Hearn has revealed that they're exploring a fight between Dalton and Regis Progress next. Regis will come back around July, August time. He's still a big player in the division. I love Dalton Smith against Regis Progress. I saw Gary Antoine Russell in an interview recently. He's ranked number 2. And basically, apart from Steve Claggett, he's surrounded by DAZN fighters. So any moves he's going to make is likely going to have to be a coalition, PBC and DAZN. There's no way around it, whether that's Golden Boy or Matchroom. I think it's a good time for Dalton Smith, PROGRAIS. I don't think they should be second guessing or necessarily trying to age fighters out. Dalton looked really good against Zabeda, a common opponent between PROGRAIS and Dalton. Dalton and his dad, Grant, they'll be keen to keep that fight in the UK. The Utilita, fill up the Utilita. If they can incentivize Regis to make his way across the pond, he's done it before, be a good night, good fight, and would solidify Dalton as a legitimate contender for anybody. Is Dalton ready? I would say he's ready. It's risky, but I'd say he's ready. Might not necessarily win either, but this is boxing. This is a fight he should be prepared to take. Keep the momentum going. He defeated Zabeda in better style than Regis did. Devin's fighting tonight. And if he gets past Ryan Garcia, Sandor Martin's next if Devin's going to keep his strap at 140. Sandor will be his mandatory. And Devin replied to Eddie, who said that Devin's likely to give up his belt before he fights Sandor because there's not enough money in it. Devin said, no, don't listen to Eddie. I'm defending my strap. So Dalton needs to stay busy and not against whack competition. He's better than that. Way better than that.
Big respect to Ryan Garcia. He was amazing. I thought, well done, well done. Oh really? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
You paid my son, you piece of shit.
What are you talking about?
Fuck you. You know you're a piece of shit. And that's what you get.
Really?
Now what are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say
Luke Campbell?
Luke
And
Campbell?
fucking Devin Haney? Fuck you. Now who you got? Who do you got?
Jerron Ennis.
Who?
Jerron Ennis.
How about Pitbull?
You know he's good. Jerron Ennis is good.
They're all good.
Respect. It was a good performance.
Sorry.
I know you're emotional.
Man, sorry.
Listen, it's a sport. When you win,
I know,
I'll
but-
give you all the respect in the world.
Okay, give Ryan the respect.
I just told him.
You did?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This is how we work.
Sorry.
Don't worry. I respect you.
Thank
I
you.
accept your apology.
Thank you.
No problem.
Henry Garcia, perhaps a little too overpumped on his son's accomplishments, steamed into Eddie Hearn. Coincidentally, when he steamed in and started running his mouth, Eddie was bigging up Ryan Garcia.
Big respect to Ryan Garcia. He was amazing. I thought, well done, well done. Oh really? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
You paid my son,
The first thing you hear in the clip is big respect to Ryan Garcia, and then Henry starts running his mouth. He comes back and apologizes to Eddie, says sorry. So there's only one person who looked dumb in all that, and that's Henry. Contrary to what's being said, Devin's jaw is not broken. He said he fought with the heart of a lion. He kept getting up, and that is true. He showed amazing heart. And if he's got that kind of heart, he can always come back. He said he would like a rematch where they both make weight. Ryan said no rematch almost immediately. after the final bell and said he's going up to 147. I don't think Golden Boy will be too keen on Ryan moving up to 147 too quickly. I believe there could be an immediate rematch, as Devin is still champion. Mauricio Sulaiman, he congratulated Ryan for defeating the odds and beating Devin Haney. He then brought up the receipt that in 2005, Diego Corrales and Jose Luis Castillo had 2 fights, the first of which Corrales won in a classic, knocking Castillo out. Castillo won the rematch via 4th round knockout, but he didn't make weight, so Corrales kept the belt. And funnily enough, in Corrales' next defense against the Cuban, Casamoyo, he didn't make weight, and he lost the belt on the scales and then lost a split decision. So Mccomb still have a bargain chip if Ryan wants to become a legitimate champion rather than just getting the W over Devin. If he's interested in being a champion, Devin is still champion, and Devin wants the rematch, and I'm sure Golden Boy will be interested. I'd like to see a rematch. I don't think Ryan's interested in the rematch or the belt though, because he's got the W over Devin. I think he wants to move on. I don't think he's interested in fighting Devin if he has to strain to make 10 stone. Let's say he does that and Devin cleans him up in the rematch. It will put the first victory into question for a lot of people. And I don't think they want to go back there. I think it's something they have to explore. I mean, Ryan must have confidence after that victory. He floored Devin 3 times, and Devin was unable to hurt him. So who knows? Ryan and Golden Boy, they set out with their objectives and they achieved that. Devin took the $1.5 million compensation for each pound Ryan was over the weight. So Devin can have no complaints. He took the money. He took the money. And anyone else who does that, they can have no complaints. It does, however, taint Devin's grip on the belt, retaining it in such circumstances. Now, Ryan should celebrate his victory. He earned his victory. But I don't want to hear no more complaints that Tank rehydrated him. No more complaints. Tank put the rehydration clause on Ryan, celebrated his victory. Ryan, he didn't bother to make weight and he celebrated his, so it is what it is. Live and let live. Could Ryan beat Devin if they both made the weight? We'll never know unless we see that rematch and both make weight. Ryan looked a lot bigger than Devin in that ring. He did. And when he hit Devin with that first left hook and hurt Devin, every time after that he opened up, he looked like he could put Devin on the floor. Every time. I thought Ryan was blowing the fight. And he was blowing the fight. Wasn't using his jab enough. Was looking for that left hook. Turning his back on Devin to avoid the punishment. And he was losing rounds. But Ryan had his tactics set out for him. And he followed the game plan. And he was very patient. Tied Devin up. They countered Devin's jab very well with that left hook.
He caught me early when I was sleeping on it. He caught me by surprise. I fell asleep on the left hook. We trained for it, but I got in there and I fell asleep, and he caught me with it.
When you went down that first time, how hurt were you? How much did that change the course of the fight?
I was more surprised than hurt. The first time I wasn't really that hurt. I was more surprised. Like I said, he went in there, he jumped on me like he knew he would, but I was just sleeping.
At 147, Ryan can't wait around just looking for a left hook against top 10 welters. He'll have to work a lot harder. Devin couldn't hurt him with none of them punches that he was landing on Ryan's hip and the side of his body when Ryan was almost turning his back to Devin. The referee didn't really do much about that, did he? But then again, I didn't count it. The referee gave Devin a long time to recover after one of the knockdowns. So it all evens itself out, I guess. But you know, Devin, his headshots had nothing on him. He didn't box with any fluidity. It was a bad night for Devin. And Ryan got his W. Congrats. He floored Devin in the 7th, 10th, 11th. I thought they could have pulled Devin out because he was taking a lot of heavy shots. I like the heart Devin shown, man. I like the heart Devin has shown. They should pull him out. Should pull Devin out. Could ruin the boy's career from there. He took a lot of hard punches. Look at that, man. Down he goes again. I rolled around in his head when he got hit with that left hook. Gee whiz. Should have pulled him out, Bill. Even if he gets through it. No power in his shots or nothing. You know what I mean? They've been doing well to survive and still attack. Just can't hurt Ryan. Just can't put a dent in him. Not a dent. After the third knockdown in the 11th, yeah, they could have pulled him out. But as we saw on the scorecards, there wasn't much in it in terms of rounds scored. That's probably why they kept him in there. The CompuBox clearly shows round for round that Devin outpunched and outlanded Ryan, but it's not amateur boxing. The 3 knockdowns were the turning point for Ryan. Let's admit it. I mean, if they'd scored at a draw, I think it would have been worse for Devin than taking an L if they'd scored at a draw. Technically, it could have been, but ultimately, the right man won the fight. Devin's best moment was in round 3 when he staggered Ryan with that right hand over the top. And he was talking shit while he was staggering back into the ropes. So he managed to carry the crazy into the ring with no come downs. So all the talk that he wasn't mentally right for the fight, nah, he was on point for this one. He was on point. That was Devin's best moment, but it came and went. Ryan, he fooled a lot of people, including me. It won't be, however, so easy to pull off the crazy act when the next time he fights at elite level. It won't be so easy to walk them into a situation where they're conceding the weight advantage in terms of them making the weight and him not making the weight. But I think, we underestimated Ryan's ring IQ in there. It looks like he took a lot from their 6 previous meetings when they were kids. Now, you might say that's years ago, but whatever it is, it looks like he had the inside track. Probably even more so than Derek James. And big up Derek James, he's had a rough patch. With Jamel and Errol losing Anthony Joshua, and Joshua looking like King Kong with Everlast gloves on. Ryan, it was his night. I don't think it was just him having an advantage for not making weight that won the victory. I don't think it was that. It might have played a part, but I don't think it was just that. I'll give him full credit. But it gets no easier. From here, he's got a target on his back. There's a lot of people who like to fight Ryan. A whole load who like to fight Ryan. If anything, it just gets harder from here on.
It's a robbery.
I bet they make it close. The scorecard's going to be close. They're not going to rob him, though. It'll be too blatant. You know what I mean? That's a good right by Arnold in that replay. Now, Sean Tattle, I don't know the combinations, man. Look at that. Sean had his number tonight, man. Split decision. What a robbery. I haven't seen that's one of the worst robberies I've seen in a boxing ring ever. What a robbery. It's a robbery. Oh. And JB said they're going to rob Mccomb. He said it. I said, nah, JB. I was thinking, I didn't even read your comment. I didn't read out your constant. I said, nah, they're not going to do that. Now your comment becomes the most relevant comment. Can't believe that. I can't believe that. I can't believe this. Horrible. That's horrible. What a robbery. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. He outboxed this guy thoroughly with no problems at all. I can't believe that. I really can't believe this. Robbery. This is worse than Ghana. The Ghana decision they overturned it. This is worse than that. This is going to stand. My head's hurting. Are you serious? Someone saying it was a closer fight than the Dazn commentary. I haven't listened to no commentary. How are you saying this was a close fight? Are you drunk? What have you been drinking? I've been drunk, bro. Wasn't close. Lee Eaton, Sean Mccomb's manager, will be petitioning to the New York State Athletic Commission, the WBO and Golden Boy. They want a rematch. Because whoever's responsible for scoring that fight, 97-93, and even the other judge who had it closer, you're messing with this kid's career. Mccomb, 6'+ southpaw from Belfast in Northern Ireland, went over to the MSG and thoroughly outboxed the favourite, Barboza. Thoroughly. Mccomb dropped his hands, used his reflexes, good upper body and head movement, and Barboza couldn't catch him. He caught him a few times in the last and a few times throughout, but he couldn't catch him. The foot speed gap, heavily in Mccomb's favour. The hand speed gap, heavily in Mccomb's favour. The jab, heavily in Mccomb's favour. How are you going to give slow-footed Arnold the fight? And I'm not going to have a go at Arnold. He tried his hardest, but he was plodding in there. He couldn't get nowhere near to Sean Mccomb. And they robbed the guy. To be honest, it ruined the evening for me. It wasn't until Ryan landed that punch in the first round that I started to get into the main event and forget about the co-main. It was such a bad decision. On a big stage like this, one of the biggest nights in boxing, you'd actually have the gall to blatantly score the fight for the wrong man like that. The Northern Ireland Boxing Authority, wherever they're called, support your man. Do not stay silent. Do not let them get away with this. I didn't know much about Sean Mccomb. I'm not sure if I've seen him box before. But I was really enjoying his boxing. Really enjoying his boxing. He doesn't have no power, so to speak. But if you're talking about punching, moving, and defense, beautiful display. A beautiful display of boxing. And wasn't rewarded for his skill. And when the decision came, in fact, before the decision came, when they said split decision, I was stunned. That's all I can say. Horrible decision.
It's a robbery.